Playing center, representing the New York Islanders, number 19, Brian Trottier. And number 99, center, Wayne Gretzky. From the New York Islanders, number 22, right wing, Mike Bossy. From the New York Rangers, replacing Anders Hedberg, number 77, center, Phil Esposito. Now the first team representing the Prince of Wales Conference, in goal from the Buffalo Sabres, number 1, Don Edwards. Playing defense from the Montreal Canadiens, number 19, Larry Robinson. At center from Los Angeles, number 16, Marcel Dion. And at right wing from the Montreal Canadiens, number 10, Guy Lafleur. From the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 27, center, Darryl Sittler. From the Hartford Whalers, representing all of hockey with great distinction for 5 decades, number 9.
This NHL Network program is brought to you in part by Lagoli, the world's first automated inflatable hockey goaltender.
He dreamed of conquering the world.
The young ones love you.
He never imagined the power he sought would cost him everything.
Too many have died! Conquer your fear! You'll conquer death!
Alexander.
Starts Wednesday, November 24th.
It's already November.
We know what you're thinking. It's too early for the holidays. But remember how you procrastinated last year
and ended up writing your brother a check.
So this year, why not start early?
Old Navy has great new sweaters,
cable knits and shrugs in lots of different colors, like
pink, yellow, green, blue, or orange.
For the whole family.
New sweaters starting at $22.50 this week at Old Navy.
From
From August 1st to September 30th, buy an iTech HC100 or HC95 Pro helmet and receive a free Ice Air Performance long sleeve shirt featuring moisture wicking technology. See participating stores for details.
So on a night when a lot of all-star rookies are making their debut in this game, a lot of nostalgia here in Detroit. Right now, let's meet the men who'll be working as the officials in tonight's game.
Hello, my name's John D'Amico. I'm one of the linesmen for tonight's game, and it's my 5th All-Star game.
Good evening, my name's Ray Scapanello. I'm the other lineman for tonight's game, and this is my 1st All-Star game.
My name is Dave Newell, referee for tonight's game. This is my 1st All-Star game.
Well, Dan Kelly and Gary Dornhofer, has there ever been an ovation in a hockey arena to match that given Gordie Howe here tonight?
Just think what will happen, Mr. Urban, if that number 9 for the Wales Conference would score a goal. We'll never finish the game.
That's right. Well, he's out there to start it. Tony Esposito. He is the only goaltender in the game who has played in all-star competition before, and there he is for the Campbell Conference, and starting for the Wales Conference, Don Edwards of the Buffalo Sabres, and starting the play-by-play of the game, here is Dan Kelly of St. Louis.
Thank you, Dick Urban. Referee Dave Newell ready to drop the puck, and immediately Dion cleared it back into his zone. And the Wales Conference work at the center ice to number 23, Gainey. Tried to set up Dion. Now McEwen knocked it down for the Campbell Conference and shot it to center ice. Taken there by number 9. Who else? Gordie Howe. Here's Howe across the line for Dion. Put one near the goal. Esposito got a stick on it. Now Gainey dumped it in behind the net. Jim Watson for the Campbell Conference to Leach on right wing. Number 27. Into the center ice area for Watson again. Watson trying to center one. Tipped away by Hartsburg. Now Leach centered. And it's tipped just wide by Trottier. Here's Howe firing one out to center ice. Loose puck there taken by Gainey. Gainey then is checked, and here's Leach. In across the line. Trottier dropping it back. Moving in. Barber, a backhander. Save made and cleared away then by Hartsburg. So Edwards comes up with an early save. Hartsburg trying to clear it. Held in by Leach. His shot stopped, and here's Howe to Gainey. Number 23, Gainey back to Howe, and Norm Barnes intercepts for the Campbell Conference. To Trottier and back to Barnes. Shoots one, does Barnes, in a pad and stick save by the goaltender Edwards. Here's Gilbert Perreault, number 11. Perreault for the Wales Conference. Fakes the shot through the defense. Shoots, and he backhanded it wide after a nifty move by Perreault. A couple of nifty moves, as a matter of fact. Prop cleared one in. Now around on the boards, they work it to Guy Lafleur for the Wales. Back of the goal and in the corner. Taken there by the Wales Conference, and Cloutier cleared it into the corner. Now Lafleur to Cloutier, number 8. Cloutier for Perreault. Perreault in across the line. Perreault trying to fire one around on the boards, and prop for the Campbell Conference is there to clear it down the ice. That's Jim Schoenfeld going back for it, and icing is called against the Campbell Conference.
Oh boy, Gary, throughout this game will we see a better move than the one that Perreault just put on the defense, but there was some good goaltending by Edwards.
Well, good action on both ends. The play that Trottier makes here to Barber, and Barber makes a good move, lets the backhand go. Good save by Edwards. Had to be really sharp in that one. But this is the one that says it all, Gilbert Perreault, and he's been doing that all his career.
Now back to the live action. Puck cleared out on the wing. Campbells can't get it out of there, and now in possession is Robert Picard, who does fire one down the ice. Edwards, the goaltender, handles it, sets it up for number 6, Schoenfeld. The Wales Conference in the light uniforms trying to work it out of there. On right wing, it's Ron Stackhouse. Lead pass to Lafleur, goes into the Campbell into the rink. Wires Lindgren back to get it for Picard, and now back to Lindgren. Out on the right wing side to Blair McDonald at center for Prop, and number 26, Brian Prop, tries to set up Gretzky, intercepted, and back come the Wales Conference. Clearing one was Burroughs into the center ice area there. Burroughs was knocked down. Here digging in after it is Danny Gare. Gare tied up on the boards. Now back come the Campbell Conference, and moving across the line is Rick McLeish. Over onto the other wing, it's into the corner, and digging there was Morris Vukovic. McLeish now in the corner for the Campbell Conference, trying to make a centering pass. Back in for Lukovic. Centers one out in front. Bossy was checked, and here's Jean Rattel. At center for number 17, Gare. Gare moving it in. Now they get it to Rattel in the slot. Couldn't catch up with the pass. Back to the goal and clearing it away on the left wing boards was Jim Watson. Wales nothing, the Campbells nothing here in the early going. Norm Barnes back to the Campbell conference on right wing for Mike Fossey. Fossey being forechecked by Rattel. Now cleared it. Hartsburg carried back in, and that causes an offside at the Campbell Conference blue line.
Still no score. Tonight's game is coming to you from the new Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
This NHL Network program is brought to you in part by iTech Hockey, worldwide leaders in head, facial, and goalie equipment innovation.
Back pain. It can affect more than your back. Robax Platinum, a special combination of 2 active ingredients, one to relieve back pain, the other to relax tense back muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
Hey, great game, honey. Listen,
getting that first goal is key. I mean, it's a big 2 points for us, and we'll take it. It's a big win.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's a gut check time, and everybody's contributing, all lines are firing, and, it feels really good. Absolutely.
I'll be in the car.
Okay, thanks.
It's time to get outside and play. Motorized Fun Company is a leader in affordable motorized recreation. Our ATVs and dirt bikes are designed for the whole family. Our specialty is fun. That's our middle name. So whether you like 2 wheels or 4, we have a model for you. Families who play together, stay together. You can do it on our Motorized Fun Company vehicles. For the Motorized Fun Company retailer near you, call 1-800-973-3334.
Introducing Sense Stories by Febreze, a whole new way to experience sense. Because with Sense Stories, you can play sense, like you play music. Every reusable Sense Stories disc plays 5 complimentary scents, with a new scent every half hour, and a whole new experience with every disc. Just push play, and you're there. New Sense Stories by Febreze.
16 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the first period. Scoreless game on the faceoff. Comes into the Campbell, into the rink. Mike McEwen is back to get it. McEwen out on the right wing side for Bossy. Here's Bossy, number 22. Dumps one in. In after it is McLeish with a shot wide of the goal. And coming up with it is Fred Hartsburg, number 4 for the Wales Conference. Hartsburg, the young Minnesota North Star, got it into the zone, cleared back to center. Now Larry Robinson, 2 scores! Robinson with a rocket from the blue line.
1-0 for the Wales, Gary, and a shot that may have had the element of surprise going for it.
There's no question about that. One thing about Robinson, he gets involved in the offensive flow, and look at him shoot that puck right from just inside the blue line. Esposito moved once it was by him, but high-rising shot caught the top corner.
No, that shot reminds me of
the goal that didn't go in, or did it, in the 4th game of the finals last year. The Phantom
Madison Square Garden. Very reminiscent. This one did go in, we know for sure, and it's 1-0 for the Wales Conference. Here's Robinson over on the right wing boards for Mike Murphy. Murphy at center ice to Butch Goring. Goring gets it into the Campbell into the rink. Murphy in after it, centers the shot. They score! Steve Payne into the top corner.
Well, Steve Payne didn't react all that much, but what a thrill that must be for the youngster of the Minnesota North Stars out of Ottawa, and very, very quickly, the Whales take a 2-0 lead. I don't know where the defense was, Gary, on that one, but he was all alone in front.
Was he one of the people we talked about? First year appearance. Here's the lead pass into the center ice area. 2-0 quickly now for the Wales Conference. And the Campbell Conference, who have never been able to beat the Wales, have fallen behind. Hartsburg for the Wales Conference, who's on defense with Robinson, and here's Fred Hartsburg.
trying to work it out. Federico tied him up, but now here's Mike Murphy. Murphy for Goring. Goring trying to move in. Back to Murphy. A shot, and Esposito makes the save on the short side. Campbell Conference in possession now. Robert Picard out on left wing to Esposito. Flipping one in across the line. Federico couldn't handle it. And now as the player Kent Nilsson comes up with it, the play is called offside at the Wales Conference blue line.
As we follow Kent Nilsson to the Campbell bench, a review of those quick goals, 2 in the space of 21 seconds. Robinson unassisted at 3:58. Payne from Murphy at 4:19.
2-0 for the Wales Conference. Here's Howe for the Wales, dropping it back to Stackhouse. Stackhouse around in the boards to Jim Schoenfeld. Out to Geaney. Gives it to Dion. Lead pass to Howe. Howe trying to work around Jimmy Watson, and he knocks Howe down. Howe goes tumbling into the boards, winds up on top of the puck. And that will cause a face-off from the Campbell end of the ring.
Jimmy Watson and Gordie Howe into the corner. Everybody hangs on, I'm sure, when they see Gordie in a situation like that. He has so many All-Star Game, NHL All Star Game records to his credit. Take half a period to run them down.
What is it, 37 of these players were not born the first year Gordie played in an All-Star Game?
John Rattel and Tony Esposito, the only two who were.
Here's Stackhouse. Over on left wing for Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld to Howe. Here's Gordie Howe, and they whistle it down on a 2-line offside. Faceoff will be back inside the Wales blue line.
Scotty Bowman has seen his team score twice in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. That betters the previous All-Star marker, the fastest 2 goals from the start of a game by 19 seconds. Scotty, of course, coaching the Montreal Canadiens last year to the championship, and Al Arbor likewise in the other section.
Wales in their own zone. Schoenfeld flips one to the line, held in there by Barnes, however. And number 16, Marcel Dion, around on right wing for Howe, comes to center. And Watson has it for the Campbell Conference. Feeds it on left wing for Bill Barber. Here's Barber. Schoenfeld rides him back to the goal. Stackhouse clears it over on the boards. Jim Watson knocked it down back to the goal to Gretzky. He couldn't get it. And Schoenfeld tries to feed it out. Schoenfeld now carries out, headmanning it to Geaney. Bob Geaney to Dion. Intercepted, and Watson cleared it back near the Wales blue line. Here's Schoenfeld to Howe. Howe to Dion, and Barnes breaks that up. Norm Barnes clears one to center ice, taken there. And Reed Larson gives it to Dion. Dion flips one into the corner. Kluche digs in after it, but knocked away from him by Blair McDonald. Back comes Gretzky. Gretzky, number 99, cleared one around on the boards. Edwards, the goaltender, flipped it away. Here's Barber holding on to it, cleared it around onto the other wing, and the Wales drop it back and reorganize. Here's Dave Burrows over into the other side. Now they work it to Kluche at center. He's checked. Blair McDonald back into the zone for Ron Brester. To Esposito. At center for McDonald. Tips one in. Krupp races in after it, but hustling back is Reed Larson. He gets it to Kluche. Now to center ice to Lafleur. Intercepted and fired back in by Mike McEwen. Edwards out of the net, plays it on the left wing boards for Kluche. Kluche was checked. That's McEwen, centers one, they score! Reggie Leach set up by McEwen.
2 things here, Gary. Principally, an excellent bit of work by McEwen to hang tough along the boards.
Well, he's back on the point. He got involved in the offensive flow and then sent that pass. Harry digs it out, just throws it, went right through the defender's legs there, and Reggie Leach, what a spot for him, and he doesn't waste any time. He released it right away, got them back in the hockey game.
That's the Wales lead to 2-1. Here's Krupp for the Campbell Conference, a shot wide of the net. Now Kluche dumped it back of the goal for Larson, trying to get it up. McEwen held it in, Lafleur steals it. Here's Guy Lafleur to Kluche. Rael Kluche back to Lafleur. Lafleur drops it to Burrow, shoots, and a glove save by Tony Esposito on a hard shot from the left point by Burrows.
2-1 for the Wales. This is the 1980 All-Star Game from Detroit.
This NHL Network program is brought to you in part by Molson Canadian, I Am Canadian, and by Vector, Fuel Up.
Hey, Jack. How do you make a half-blind dovetail?
Well, I'd start with a thick drawer front, then rip a fat quarter-inch slab off, then plane both sides of the piece.
And Jack, ever stud your meat? Because guys have other things they'd rather think about than cooking, there's Campbell's Chunky Chicken Noodle Soup. Studded with big chunks of seasoned chicken. Made with pasta and vegetables. Built with 9 grams of protein. Campbell's Chunky. Fully constructed.
We're all about playing dirty.
We enjoy pissing people off.
Failure's not an option.
If anybody gets in our way, we will move them out of the way.
New teams, new rules, new race. The 2-time Emmy Award-winning Amazing Race returns for an all-new season.
Yeah, baby!
This is it, the first clue.
The Amazing Race!
Tomorrow at 9/8 Central on CTV.
Imagine one tool that would help you do this, and this, and this. There is one. It's HomeCard. Use HomeCard at any home hardware and home building center to help with purchases and projects. And right now, during our absolutely no-fee event, pay no administration fees and choose the payment plan. Do not pay for 6 months or make 12 equal payments. Apply for your HomeCard today. Only from Home Hardware and Home Building Center.
Sometimes it's better to stay in, especially with KFC's new DVD movie meal. A complete meal with the Colonel's famous chicken, salads, fries and gravy, gourmet popcorn, plus one of 3 great DVDs. Get them before they're gone and spend a great night in. There's more in the bucket.
All right, just watch the way Reggie Leach gets in position. Burrows doesn't know when the puck is coming to Leach, and as soon as it hits his stick, it's on the net. And in.
And a fine setup by McEwen. Loose puck from the face-off, taken there by Lindgren for the Campbell Conference. They work it out on the left wing side for Morris Lukovic. That's Hartsburg hustling back to beat Bossy to it, and Craig Hartsburg feeds it to Rattel, who tips it down into the Campbell end of the Rick. Lindgren tried to shoot it out. Rattel carried back in, but Sittler was trapped in there offside at the Campbell Conference blue line.
Well, there's Mike Bossy of the New York Islanders without a helmet. I can't recall him playing in the NHL, Dan. Certainly in the games I've seen him without a helmet. His second All-Star game. What a career. 53 goals his rookie year, 69 last year, and he has 35 in 48 games this year.
That spells sniper. Here is Lukovic at center ice for Trottier. Trottier across the line. The play goes offside at the Wales Conference blue line. 2-1 for the Wales Conference. Man who scored the first goal, Larry Robinson. That last goal for the Campbell Conference, Leach from McEwen at 7:15, the scoring play. Here's Robinson. Got it to Gare, but intercepted there by Picard, who fired it back in, and now Robinson for Rattel. Lindgren tied him up. Now Gare on left wing, number 17. Skated off by Picard. They work it to Trottier. Now over onto the other wing, and here's Lukovic. Number 12, Morris Lukovic. For Trottier. Fires one in. Back to Hartsburg to take control. To Gare. To Sittler, intercepted by Lindgren. Shot back in by Lukovic. And Robinson has it there. On right wing to Gare. He's checked. There's a chance. Bossy shot right on. And Edwards did a little dance and made the save and held it for a face-off.
Guy Lafleur of the Montreal Canadiens, a big hand when he was introduced, the second highest point getter so far this season. He trails Marcel Dion. We will not have a shutout here tonight, gentlemen, and that's something you don't see much of in All-Star competition. There's only been one in the current format back in 1967. The Canadiens, that's the time when the Stanley Cup champions used to play. 3-0 winners.
Now here's a chance for McLeish, caught by Edwards. Held in by Barnes for the Campbell Conference. Into the corner and onto the puck. Now it's Stakos trying to clear it out of there. Watson moves in for the Campbell Conference over there as well as Stakos for the Wales, and they hold it against the boards.
A lot of emotion in the United States, positive toward Canada in light of recent events in Iran. Dave Hodge has more on the story from a Detroit angle.
Gene Taylor is well known for his work in television on both sides of the border, Detroit and Toronto specifically, so it's quite fitting he should be involved in this piece of work.
Well, Dave, this is a petition drive. Started out hopefully to get 6,000 signatures on it to thank Canada for their help in getting our diplomats out. It is over 25,000 signatures. We're going to give it to Joe Clark tomorrow night in Peterborough.
which means there are more signatures on this roll of paper than there are people at Joe Louis Arena tonight.
Dane Kelly, Dick Irvin, Gary Dornhofer, and Dave Hodge with you from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. All-Star Game time. Here's Schoenfeld clearing one around on the right wing boards to Murphy. He couldn't get it out of there as it's knocked down by McLeish. Shot it back to the goal. Federico couldn't get to it. Now the Whales try and move it out. Barnes held it in, but now flipping it out. And down for Goring, but it goes all the way down the ice. Jimmy Watson back to get it to Barnes. Back to the goal. Now Murphy trying to steal it. Kent Nielsen had control. Nielsen from the Atlanta Flames into the center ice area to McLeish. McLeish back to Federico, and Federico checked by Stackhouse before he could shoot. Here's a drop pass to Barnes, who couldn't hold it in and has to go back to center ice. Number 25, Norm Barnes. Lead pass on the right wing side for Kent Nielsen, and it's offside at the Wales Conference blue line.
Well, Jim Schoenfeld goes to the bench, and as he arrives there, Gordie Howe comes back onto the ice. I wonder how long they'll keep the applause every time he steps on.
By the way, Dave Hodge will be talking with Gordie Howe in our first intermission. Puck shot in by the Wales Conference. Digging in after it is McDonald. Back to the goal for Prop. Centered one, and Howe is there to break it up and give to Dion. There's Marcel Dion, the NHL's leading scorer, clearing one in. Esposito shot it over on the right wing side. Greshner trying to get it to McDonald, and Howe intercepts there. Howe, and checked by Barber. Puck back for Burroughs. Gives to Dion, and number 16, Marcel Dion. Leaves one in his own zone. They work it over onto the left wing side for Burroughs. Burroughs now to Geeney. Geeney to Dion. Dion tied up by McDonald. Here's Geeney following in. Geeney tried to center, and Gretzky knocked it down. Now Larson moves in. Larson's shot from a bad angle hit the side of the net, and it's taken by Mike McEwen. Number 4, Mike McEwen, giving it to Greshner, to McDonald. Now Gretzky, number 99, takes the shot, now lets it go, and Edwards a stick serve. Reed Larson almost lost it. Clears to Howe. Howe dropping it back, and here's Larson out of the zone to Dion. Over on right wing for Larson again. Centers one, Luce a shot, and Esposito went to his knees and made the save on the quick shot. Centering pass, McEwen knocked it down, can't clear it. There's Perreault to Lafleur. Lafleur dropping it back for Burroughs. He flipped one near the net, but Gretzky is there. Trying to get it up, Lafleur knocked it down. His shot blocked, and now Greshner to McDonald. To Bill Barber. Barber, number 7. Campbell Conference in possession. They work it over onto right wing for Picard. Robert Picard is shot, and a stick save by Edwards. Esposito on the puck. Back to the point, and over the stick of Picard to center ice. Here's Perreault breaking away. Lindgren tied him up from behind and breaks the play up. Loose puck, and here's Reg Leach, number 27. Leaves for Esposito, shoots, glove save by Edwards.
Well, we all know Reggie Leach can score goals, but how about that little back pass to Esposito? Edwards had to be awfully quick to get his glove on it.
That's Gary Dornhofer, who played in a pair of these All-Star games in his playing career. Nice to have him in the broadcast booth. Here's Perreault on a face-off against Esposito, and it's taken by Hartsburg. Cleared around on the right wing side for Lafleur. Here's Reggie Leach. Shoots one at a stick save by the goaltender Edwards. Going to be a penalty on the play here, and hooking will be the call by referee Dave Newell against Craig Hartsburg.
Penalty call on Craig Hartsburg, number 4 for the Wales Conference and Minnesota North Stars, as he dumps Brian Propp of the Philadelphia Flyers. So the first power play chance goes toward the Campbells, and Phil Esposito wearing number 77. We must make mention that Phil the other night reached the 700 mark in goals scored.
Here are the Campbells on a power play. Greshner, number 6, shoots one around in the boards. Robinson is there. He gets it out to Geeney. Now Greshner held it in. Robinson again draped against the boards, but Schoenfeld passes to Geeney, and Geeney then cleared it down the ice. McEwen and Greshner are the point men. Esposito, Leach, and Propp the forward line for the Campbells. They're on the power play and trailing in the game 2-1. McEwen head manning to Esposito. got to the line, checked, and Robinson cleared it away. And the Campbells have to go back. Goring and Geeney are the penalty killers. Robinson and Schoenfeld on defense. Here's McEwen giving it to Gressner. Now to Leach. Over onto the other wing. Now they drop it to Esposito. Shoots. Edwards, a stick save. Loose puck. Cleared back to the goal. Gressner trying to set up Esposito. Now Robinson is there to clear it away. And it comes all the way down into the Campbell's end of the rink. Reg Leach back to get it. 58 seconds left in the penalty. Leach to Jimmy Watson. Number 20, Watson. Dumps one in. Back after it is Schoenfeld. He clears one to Rattel. Rattel back to Schoenfeld in the corner. Flips it and is able to clear it to center ice as a gut by Bossy, and Watson has to go back. 38 seconds left in Hartsburg's penalty. Brian Trottier, number 19. Into Bossy. Bossy trying to go around. Rattel gets the shot away. Now centers one. Comes over to Lukowicz. Boris Lukowicz. To the side to Bossy. A shot, another one, and Edwards stopped them both. Edwards stopping Bossy twice from close in. Now center to Trottier. Backhander, and that one deflects wide. Lukowicz for the Campbells. To Barnes. Shooting and a save as Edwards kicked it out. And the Whales clear it to center ice. Here's Barnes. Over to Watson. Penalized player back on. As Hartsburg comes back on, they've killed it off. Campbell's trying to clear it in. Broken up, and back comes Burrows. Dave Burrows just scoops one in. Picard back to the Campbells. Trying to clear it, gets it to McLeish. Rick McLeish to number 24, Federico. Back to McLeish. Shoots one, and Edwards makes the save on the short side, and Gordie Howe takes over. Lost it. Now here's Federico trying to flip one in front. Did, and Howe knocked it down and sends Dion on his way on left wing. Marcel Dion leaving it there. Howe feeds it through. Howe has a chance. Shoots. Esposito. Sprawling save to Rob Gordie Howe. And he held on to it.
He almost had the big chance, Dan. There's a big goal live from Detroit, the 1980 All Star Game.
This NHL program is brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you?
Hey, Lagoli, don't forget, 10 o'clock, game at the rink.
No, I've never had so much fun. I can't remember when I've ever had so much fun. Can't do the water in Sydney, can't eat the food in Japan, and you can't be the air in Los Angeles, but a million people think they can. Now I've never had so much fun.
We combined a wireless notebook with a complete home entertainment center you can take anywhere. Which leaves only one question. The new Toshiba Cosmeo with Intel Centrino mobile technology.
TV sucks the brain right out of the skull. So, next seminar we'll probe the content of television.
Professor McLuhan,
Well, of course, the content of television is movies, but the message of television is what it does to us, the users.
Are you saying that the medium is more important than the message it carries?
No. The medium is not more important than the message. It's obvious. The medium is the message.
The medium is the message? What does that mean?
Well, of course, the medium is the message. It's what I...
He's full of great ideas.
Like print changed the shape of the world, people don't read newspapers, they get into them like a warm bath.
This Canadian changed the way the world thinks about communications.
Is the message, then the content must be the audience. And of course, electronic information is turning the world into a global village. Take light bulbs, they're an information medium.
Right now, it's a pleasure to welcome Herb Brooks, the respected coach of the American Olympic team, who is here, and it must be quite a thrill for your boys who have been part of this atmosphere the last couple of days.
Well, it really has, Dick, and the National Hockey League has been, so nice to us in terms of the general managers, everybody involved, being here, making available players to us. It's just a great thrill.
What's the routine for your team now leading up to Placid?
Well, we play the Russians, Madison Square Garden Saturday, then go into Lake Placid. We get the Swedes the first night out, the Czechs the second night out, so it's really a tough week for us.
Well, the very best of luck to a very impressive group of youngsters, you and your team.
All right, thank you, Dick.
All right, back to Dan Kelly. Okay, Dick Irvin. Tony Esposito, after making that save on Gordie Howe, went over to the Campbell Conference bench, and he is apparently going to leave the game. There was talk of Esposito having a hand injury coming into this game. He's over at the bench now, and from all indications, as Pete Peters starts to get himself ready, Esposito may have injured himself.
Well, Gordie was in a perfect spot, high in the slot area. The puck came to him. There's nobody near him, and you thought he would just slide it. You know, he let the slap shot go, got a little bit in front of it, and it probably hit Esposito high in the shoulder. But here's the way it takes place. You'll see how nudge one through the crease area there. Now it'll come right back to him, and there he is, all alone. But he gets the shot up too high. Esposito did make the save and was injured on the play. But the fans were hollering and screaming for that one. They thought Gordie was going to get one.
Well, they're allowing Pete Peters some warm-up time, and what a story this young man has been as part of that incredible story of the entire Philadelphia Flyers team this year. He has played in 25 games and has not been beaten. There you see his record on the lower left-hand side. 20 wins, no losses, and 5 ties. 2.41 goals against average, and he has the only Flyers shutout of the season. He blanked Pittsburgh last Saturday night. So Pete Peters, in his first All-Star Game appearance, takes over from Tony Esposito in goal for the Campbells. I wonder if that young man a year ago thought he would be at the Joe Louis Arena playing in an All-Star Game. One way to do it, play goal in 25 games and not lose one, and you'll be here. Guaranteed. 4:50 left in the first period, 2-1 for the Whales over the Campbell Conference. Here's Paderco on a face-off against Dion. Now it comes to Nilsson around on the boards onto the other wing, and Robert Picard feeds it into the center ice area. McLeish gives it to Paderco. Centers to Nielsen, back to Paderco, and he shot it wide. Robinson for the Wales Conference to Dion. He couldn't control it. Paderco checked him, but now Robinson takes over. Feeds it ahead on left wing for Dion, too far ahead. And as Picard goes back and plays the puck, icing is called against the Wales Conference. Well, Dan, you wondered what Pete Peters might have thought a year ago. Would he be in a place like this tonight? Well, we asked him before the game exactly about that.
Well, last year at this time, I think I was just called up to the Flyers, and I had sort of a rough start. I went back down to the American League, and I knew I would have a shot the following season at the Flyers, but all I was worrying about at that time was making the Flyers, never expecting anything like this to happen to me thus far this year.
And as we listen to Pete Peters, a couple of close-in chances for the Campbell Conference. But the man in goal at the other end, Don Edwards of the Buffalo Sabres, made the save. The brothers Esposito. Second time they played together in All-Star competition. Here's a loose puck near the goal crease. Edwards cleared it away, and Lafleur takes over, number 10. Guy Lafleur for Real Cloutier. Into Lafleur. Trying to work around. Now the Campbells work it out of there, and here's Bill Barber. Barber tried to get it through the defense, broken up, and shot out to Perreault on right wing. Perreault got it to Reed Larson, knocked down at the Campbell blue line by McEwen, who fires to center. Larson and Barber fight for it there. Now Perreault and Gretzky. Here's Larson coming back and giving it to Burroughs. Dave Burroughs ahead to Lafleur. Lafleur does some fancy stick handling, and Peters came out and poked it off his stick. Loose puck, Perreault trying to clear it. Here is a shot by Burroughs that deflected, changed directions, but Peters had a beat on it, made the save, and held it. Well, certainly one of the most talked about young men in hockey, Wayne Gretzky. He turned 19 years of age 10 days ago from the Edmonton Oilers. He is not only leading the Oilers with 84 points, he is in third place overall in the NHL scoring race. And Dan had a smile a while back. He was on the ice for a shift at the same time as Gordie was on. He said when he first faced off against Gordie Howe in the WHA, he was so shook up, he hoped that Gordie would win the draw, he said. Here's Perreault getting a face-off. Schoenfeld's shot right on it. A kick save by Peters. And it's cleared to center. Schoenfeld has it again. Works it into Perreault. Gilbert Perreault.
for LaFleur. Back to Perot, but broken up, and Reggie Leach takes over. Leach at center to Prop. Prop trying to work one in. Into the corner they go. Stackhouse trying to tie it up for the Whales. Leach gets it loose. Reggie Leach to Barnes. Barnes, a shot that's high off the glass. Now Esposito. Back to the point, broken up, and here's LaFleur. On left wing for Cloutier. Number 8, Rael Cloutier. Shoots one, and he shot wide at the short side. Stackhouse holding it in. Got it to the corner. Barnes is there. Norm Barnes, number 25, drops it to Esposito. Back for Jimmy Watson. Here's Perot. Perot centers one, and Reggie Leach has it. 5 Philadelphia players on the ice right now for the Campbell Conference, plus Esposito, and Esposito tips it into Prop. Prop is tied up on the play, and now Cloutier starts back. Lead pass to LaFleur. Headmanning it to Goring. Goring trying to go around Lindgren, a backhander, and Peters got a piece of it. And back comes Bossy for the Campbell Conference. Feeding it into Picard, shoots one, and his shot was wide. Wales leading in the game 2-1, and Gainey cleared it outside the line. Knocked down there. Lukovic flipped it on the boards. Here's Schoenfeld, now to Robinson. At center to Goring. Goring gets it into the zone. Trottier is there to knock it down. Trottier couldn't clear it, but now it comes right to Lindgren. Into Bossy on right wing, and the play goes offside. Lukovic speeding in ahead at the Wales blue line. 1 minute and 36 seconds remaining in the first period. Wales Conference 2 and the Campbell Conference 1. Puck from the face-off taken by Hartsburg over to Robinson. Robinson fires one down into the Campbell end of the rink again. Peters is there. Flips one for Picard. Picard trying to clear it. Hartsburg held it in. His shot wide of the goal, and Lars Lindgren takes over, giving it to Mike Bossy. Bossy being forechecked by Butch Goring. Now Bossy still trying to kick the puck loose. Goring still after him, but there's Gainey with a quick shot and a stick save by Peters. Trottier able to clear it into the center ice area. Broken up there by Hartsburg, who gives it to Gainey. Shot it over onto the other wing. Lukovic flips it in across the line, and Robinson knocked it down, and here's number 7, Rattel. Rattel for the Wales Conference, skated off by Lukovic, but Robinson had it knocked away from him to center ice, and here's the rookie Hartsburg. Greg Hartsburg shot one in. Mike McEwen for the Campbell Conference. Lost it to Gare, now Rattel trying to get it loose. Here's Gare into the corner, does center, and Fedorko breaks it up. Number 24, Bernie Fedorko. Ahead on right wing. They work it into Kent Nielsen, who centered one, but Gare intercepts for the Wales. He's checked. Robinson there to cover up for the Wales Conference. Trying to shoot it out. Greshner held it in to Fedorko in the corner. Fedorko flips one behind the net. Robinson trying to clear it, and it does come out into the center ice area. Greshner has it. Ron Greshner, number 6, knocked down on the play by Sittler. Here's Gare after it, and the buzzer goes to end the first period here in the All Star Game at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. And so the score at the end of the first period, the Wales Conference 2, the Campbell Conference 1.
Touch the bottom rectangle. Please. Go ahead. Touch it. You might like it.
Design and print your own covers. Nokia, connecting people.
No, don't carry it. Dribble it. Dribble it. Dribble it. Frank, shoot.
kind of Canadian jokes, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but we can't carry the ball. How can we get a decent shot at the peach basket?
All right. Maybe we can allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir, it sure slows things down having to climb up here every time.
Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket.
Ah, but I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Shots on goal 15-10 in favor of the Campbell Conference in that first period. Here we go with the second period from Detroit, Michigan. And Paderco on the face-off drops it back to his own line for Barnes. He cleared it ahead. Shot in but taken there by Hartsburg for the Wales Conference, who flips to center for Lafleur. He's too closely checked, and McLeish cleared it near the line. Now McLeish gets it again, shot it in, but Kent Nielsen was trapped in there offside at the Wales Conference blue line.
You know, they expected the largest crowd ever to watch a hockey game here tonight. We have not had the official attendance given to us as yet. Dan, you were at the game that set the record prior to in St. Louis a couple of years ago.
Back in 1973, 20,009. And they feel that record may be broken here tonight. Here's Hartsburg for the Wales Conference. Got it to center ice, is checked, and back comes McLeish. Lost control. Robinson for the Wales takes over. To Lafleur. Leaves for Hartsburg. Craig Hartsburg. Checked by Paderco at center ice. Now McLeish poked it in, but Gilbert Perreault has it. Or Larry Robinson. Robinson over to Hartsburg. Hartsburg flips it to center to Kluche, drops it to Robinson. Robinson checked by Paderco, and Robinson has to circle back. This pass to Hartsburg. Feeds to Kluche. Wales methodically come out of their own zone. Robinson got it to center. McLeish intercepting. And Rick McLeish shot it to the blue line. Robinson has it there for Gilbert Perreault. Here's Perreault to Robinson. To Perreault. Perreault trying to work around. Barber knocked it off his stick. And Gretzky feeds it in across the line for McDonald. Back to Gretzky. Robinson is there to break it up. Lead pass for Kluche goes too far. And back to touch it is McEwen, and icing is called against the Wales Conference. Now here's Dick Irvin again.
Well, a few minutes ago we heard from Pete Peters, the goaltender for the Flyers, that he's into the All Star break.
Because it's amazing. That was our master plan, of course, but no, we just can't believe it. It's one of the greatest seasons I've ever had.
Pete, a bit of a break for you fellas. Not a bad hockey game in the first period.
Very good. I've enjoyed it. Terrific game.
Young Prop getting a bit of a ride because they thought the Foligno, the Detroit rookie, should have been picked, but he's taken well. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
There's a chance for Howe as he moved in on right wing. Peters made a save, and then the rebound was flipped up over the glass. There's another look at Gordie Howe's chance.
Well, Gordie gets to the top of the circle. That's usually where he snaps it. It looked like it deflected off the defenseman's skate. Coming into the play was Gainey, and it deflected in the crowd. But, boy, they'd love to see Gordie get one.
Back to the live action. Puck in behind the Campbell Conference goal. McEwen out on right wing for McDonald. Headmans it to Gretzky. Gretzky leaves it for Barber. Barber flips one into the corner. Here's McDonald. Now to Gretzky. Centers out in front. McDonald checked from behind by Howe, who makes a good defensive play. Back comes Schoenfeld into Dion. And the play goes offside at the Campbell Conference blue line. Good defensive play there by Mr. Hockey.
Interesting, the reaction of the crowd. Marcel Dion heard the boos when he was introduced. That, of course, goes back to the time when he left the Red Wings in a contract dispute and ended up with the Los Angeles Kings, where he, of course, has played so well and now leads the NHL in the overall point race.
It is Dion, Gainey, and Howe, the Wales Conference forward line. Here's Picard getting one into the Wales end of the rink, circling back and taking control is number 16, Marcel Dion. Dion trying to flip one through for Gainey. Goes to the corner. And the Campbells try and work it out. Stackhouse trying to move in, but Prop headmans it to Esposito. Number 77, Phil Esposito. Takes the shot, now lets it go, and it deflects off Schoenfeld wide of the goal. Picard held it into Esposito. Schoenfeld tied him up. Jim Schoenfeld, back of the goal, tied up by Esposito. Leach to Esposito. Esposito for the Campbell. Back to Lindgren. Shoots, and he fired a low shot wide by a couple of feet. Picard shot went off a stick wide. Now Prop for the Campbell. Spins away from Sittler. Centers to Esposito. He's too well checked. Esposito falls. Now gets up. Puck comes loose, and Reggie Leach almost had it. Dion in the corner. Checked by Prop. Now Dion comes up with the puck again over onto the other wing, and it's held in by Picard. Leach back of the goal, and Gordie Howe takes it away from him. Here's Howe dropping it to Schoenfeld to Stackhouse. Stackhouse flips one in. Howe cruises in after it, but Peters cleared it away. Now Lukowicz at center to Trottier. Flips one in. Darryl Sittler hustles back and gets it for the Wales Conference. Sittler to Rattel. Back to Sittler. Over on right wing for Larson, and the play was offside at the Campbell Blue. Number 27 from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Darryl Sittler. He's out on the ice right now on left wing on a line with Rattel at center and Gear on the right side. Sittler, of course, normally a center. Here's Barnes to Watson. Now to Morris Lukowicz. Got it across the line, broken up and cleared back out, and here is Jean Rattel. Rattel moving in, tied up from behind by Trottier, centered one, and Lukowicz intercepts. Lukowicz back for the Campbells, over to Trottier. Trottier got one in front of the net, no one was there. Now Trottier back to the goal, tied up by Larson. Rattel flips it ahead to Sittler. Sittler clears the zone to center ice. And the Campbells take control. Here's Mike Bossy. Bossy, number 22, spun around and dropped it back, but Rattel intercepts. Rounding the boards for his defenseman, Dave Burrows. Burrows couldn't get it out. Here's Trottier trying to center one. Trottier still after the loose puck. And it comes to the side of the goal and is grabbed by Edwards, and the faceoff will be in the Wales Conference end of the ring.
Brian Trottier of the New York Islanders, who was the outstanding individual in the National Hockey League last season. 134 points to win the Art Ross Trophy as the scoring champion. The Hart Trophy was his as well as the league's most valuable player.
15 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the second period. 2-1 Wales Conference. Goals by Robinson and Payne. Leach has scored for the Campbell Conference. I'm Dan Kelly with Dick Irvin, Gary Dornhofer, and Dave Hodge in Detroit. Here's Greshner, shoots, and that low shot just missed. Now Greshner flips one into the corner, knocked down by Hartsburg. He got it to center. Greshner has it there, and now circling back is McLeish. Flipped one near the blue line. Payne knocked it down, and now here's Hartsburg. Right wing pass intended for Mike Murphy, broken up, and circling is Mike McEwen. Now they work it to Bernie Federico. Federico at center ice to McLeish. McLeish leaving it for Kent Nielsen. His shot goes wide. Comes to Greshner at the point. Fires, and he fired wide by several feet. McEwen trying to hold it in. Here's Mike McEwen. Spins away from Goring. McEwen now flips a high one into the Wales end of the rink. Hartsburg beaten to the puck. Federico trying to get it. Here's McLeish. Behind the goal for Kent Nielsen. Nielsen wheels in front, leaves it for McLeish. McLeish trying to break a man into the open, holding on to the puck, and then Robinson took it away. Now Federico centers a shot. They score! Nielsen on a great setup by Federico, and the Campbell Conference tie it at 2-2.
Well, a good three-way play all around, Gary, with Rick McLeish doing a great job hanging on to the puck, getting it back again after it looked like he'd been stopped by Robinson.
Well, that's what you call not giving that puck away. They kept hanging on to it and finally finding the open man, and what a good wrist shot. No mistake on that one, but it's controlling the puck in the offensive zone, hanging on to it, making the opposition take it away from you. That's the only way you're going to lose it.
So we've got a tie game, 2-2.
Kent Nielsen from the Atlanta Flames, his first All-Star game and his first All-Star goal. All the goal scorers tonight have scored their initial goals in All-Star games. It's 2-2 as Stackhouse comes to center. Shoots one in. Geaney digging in after it. Checked by McDonald. Campbell's worked it around onto the other wing. And then
Back into the corner again. In there, forechecking is Perreault. Perreault gets it to Gainey. Gainey skated off by Picard. And now Barber flips one to center. Here's McDonald racing in after it, but knocked away by Schoenfeld, and it goes up over the glass.
Tonight's game is coming to you from the new Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
Gold, oh glorious gold. Men have traveled great distances for it, battled for it, treasured it.
This gold, this glorious gold. Bright, crisp, clean and pure. The benchmark of all that is worthy. It's your kingdom.
Consider yourself a wealthy man.
Budweiser, king of beers.
U.S. college sport at its best. NCAA hockey. Speed, finesse, and campus excitement. Top rivals meet every week throughout the season, all the way to the Frozen Four and the championship game.
Thursday, Michigan at Michigan State, live on the NHL Network.
Hey, Gabe, we're supposed to be at City Hall.
We're gonna build it right here.
Yeah, sure. And give wetsuits to all the visitors?
No, on the water.
Hey, come on, we're talking about building something the size of 64 city blocks.
And there's no land left in Montreal.
So, get serious.
Listen, we'll build islands.
How? Dig up Montreal?
They're digging a subway, remember? You take it from there, and you put it here.
12 months and 25 million tons of fill later, St. Helens Island was reshaped and Ile Notre Dame was created.
Come on, we don't want to keep Mayor Drapa waiting, do we?
Montreal's Expo 67. It would prove to be the most successful World's Fair of the 20th century.
Well, Ricky McLeish was very fortunate to get the puck from Robinson to blue line there, but now look at this nice clearing pass in the slot area. Nielsen scores because he releases it right away, and the score is tied.
Nielsen from Atlanta gets the goal. Paderco and McLeish assist at 6:03 to tie it at 2-2. Here's Lafleur trying to move one out of there. Gretzky back to the net for the Campbell Conference is skated off by Schoenfeld. And Perreault fires it out for Lafleur on right wing. He's skated off, and back goes Bill Barber. Number 7. Barber falls, gets up again, battles Gainey for the puck. Passes now to Gretzky. He's checked by Stackhouse, but in the corner is Picard. Firing it out on right wing to McDonald. Lead pass to Gretzky, and that just failed to click. Edwards out of the net to clear it away. Gretzky into the corner. Centers one, but Schoenfeld is there for the Whales to knock it down. Gives it to Perreault to Lafleur. Lafleur to Perreault. Perreault trying to go to the outside. Centers to Lafleur, and he's checked in front of the net, and back comes McDonald. To Bill Barber. Barber, number 7, flipping one in front. Here is Gretzky with a chance, fakes the shot. Now centers it, and it's cleared away, and back come the Wales Conference. At center ice to Lafleur. Lafleur shoots one and off the stick of Watson and up over the glass into the crowd.
Craig Larson, the representative of the Detroit Red Wings, here tonight, playing before his hometown fans, and as we mentioned, quite likely the largest crowd in hockey history. Larson, the youngster from Minnesota, one of the toughest shots in all of hockey.
"12 minutes and 8 seconds left in the second period. 2-2 the score here in Detroit as the Campbells try and work it out of their own zone. They get it to center, intercepted there by Burroughs, and he gives it to Dion. Dion gives to Howe. Howe over on left wing. Here's Boucher digging in after it. Boucher tied up, and now Esposito. Number 77 to Barnes. Norm Barnes. Sanders won it. It's tipped away by Edwards. Boucher tries to get it out of there. Held in by Watson. But now it's Dion. On right wing for Larson to Howe. Here's Gordie Howe to Larson. Flips one into Dion. Dion against Barnes, and Barnes deflects the shot wide.
Peters, the goaltender, cleared it away. Dion on the boards is tied up. Larson trying to get it free. Does. Here's Reed Larson. Flips one into the corner. Leach and Howe go in after it. Here's Reggie Leach kicking at it. Hartsburg had it for a moment, and now Howe drops it back to his own line to Kluche. Rael Kluche to Hartsburg. Now to Dion. Now to Howe. Howe moving in. Dropped it to Larson. That failed to click, and here comes Leach for the Campbell Conference. Reggie Leach was checked, and Dion now feeds it out, and here's Kluche. Rael Kluche drops to Howe. Shoots, and a glove save by Peters on Howe's shot. Back comes McEwen for the Campbell Conference. Devasic into Lukowicz, and the play is offside as Lukowicz was just in across the blue line ahead of the pass.
Well, the action picking up. The Boston Bruins have had an excellent season, Gary Dornhofer. A lot of people find it rather strange that only one player, and of course a great one, John Rattel, representing them. I guess that proves the Bruins are a team effort all around.
They certainly are, but this fellow here, he just leads by example. Some of the plays that he makes and works in the corners, it's incredible, but he is a real leader for those Bruins.
So the goaltending change now. They are 33 seconds away from the halfway point of the game, so Gilles Meloche of the Minnesota North Stars takes over from Don Edwards of Buffalo.
Gilles Meloche of the Minnesota North Stars taking over in goal for the Wales Conference. Meloche in 35 games this year at 2.73 goals against average, and he takes over in goal. Here's Trottier for the Campbells trying to center it. Held in by McEwen now, and it flips up over the glass and into the crowd. Gilles Meloche, 19 wins on the season as well for that good young Minnesota team that's had its problems in recent weeks, but plenty of talent there in Minnesota. Puck cleared down into the Campbell's end of the rink. Greshner back to get it. Tied up in the corner. Rattel is in there. So is Sittler. But Greshner controls the puck on the boards. Now got it. DeBossi trying to clear to Trottier. Held in by Hartsburg. Fired it around onto the boards. Danny Gare centers one. But now Trottier shot it to center. Robinson takes over there. Flips one in. And McEwen goes back to pick it up. Checked in the corner. Here's Jean Rattel trying to center one. And it's held against the side of the net by Peters. And the faceoff will be to the left of the Campbell Conference goal.
Well, I must mention that should this game end in a tie, maybe a little too early, there will be overtime, as was the case 2 years ago. So Don Edwards, who played very well, and you see, tied for the goaltending lead in victories this season, 21 with the Sabres. He is on the bench, and Meloche has taken over.
From the face-off, it is Picard. In behind the goal to Lindgren. Lindgren trying to feed it out. It's knocked back to the net, and here's Padirko. Padirko flips one up the middle to center ice. Taken there in full flight by Nielsen. Getting it through on right wing for McLeish. McLeish dropping it back for Padirko in front to Nielsen. Now Padirko with a chance. Couldn't get a shot away. Cleared away and held in by Lindgren for the Campbell Conference. Padirko back of the net. Sanders one, and Rattel is there to break that up and give it to Gare. Here's Gare on left wing to Sittler. Lindgren skates him off. Gare goes to the corner. Wrapped in against the boards by Picard. Puck comes loose, and Lars Lindgren trying to clear it. Now it's Rattel. Rattel centering one. Comes to the slot area, but broken up, and Lindgren comes back for the Campbell Conference. To McLeish. Checked by Robinson, who fired it around onto the boards. Padirko is in there for the Campbell Conference to try and get it. Now loose puck. Wales trying to clear it as Butch Goring gets it on right wing to Gare. Danny Gare, lead pass to Sittler. Sittler cuts in. Sanders one. Comes to Robinson. Robinson now got it in front, and breaking away is McDonald, and the Campbells have a 3-on-1 break. To McLeish. Over to Padirko. Padirko trying to get it back, and it was broken up by Schoenfeld. And back comes Robinson. Leaving it for Larson, and a booming shot goes wide. McLeish ahead on left wing to Gretzky, and that play is offside at the Wales Conference blue line.
Jim Schoenfeld with the defensive play of the game. The coaches here tonight know each other quite well. We asked Scotty Bowman to comment on Al Arbour's coaching style.
Firstly, as a player, Al Arbor played with a high level of consistency. You could count on him game in, game out to play his driving game. And as a coach, he does stress fundamentals, good positional play, and his teams have been up near the top on the goals against, which will win the hockey games.
Scotty Bowman talking about Al Arbor. It's a 2-2 hockey game as Goring has the puck in across the line on right wing. They work it for Murphy. They got it behind the goal. Payne now tying up Barnes along the boards, and it's held there. And the faceoff will be on the Campbell end of the ring.
This game is coming to you from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
This weekend on TSN, we have back-to-back big game excitement. Saturday, college football madness with the CIS UTEC Bowl and Mitchell Bowl, deciding who will compete for this year's Vanier Cup. Followed by CFL Countdown. Sunday, we have NBA action with San Antonio at Toronto and the final round from the World Cup of Golf. SportsCenter is at the Grey Cup. And finally, we cap it all off with NFL excitement, Green Bay and Houston. All this weekend on TSN.
You won't believe some of these proposals. Look at this one. And this. Whew. Now this is what I wanted from the start. But Mike Pearson wants this. Well, he is the Prime Minister. But blue is not an official Canadian color. Meanwhile, John Diefenbaker and the Tories want this. You know, the only way I'll ever get the whole committee together is to persuade my Liberals to reject their own Prime Minister's choice. Well, the Tories will agree to that at least. Is there one design here that the whole committee can agree on that says Canada? No mistake about it. I wonder. Prime Minister and Mr. Diefenbaker, I was just talking about you. Are we all going to the same party?
Amazingly, John Matheson MP would achieve the unanimity he sought.
Well, the new Joe Louis Arena opened on December the 12th with a college basketball game. And the Red Wings played their first game here against the St. Louis Blues on the 27th of December. Seating capacity for hockey, 19,100, largest in the NHL.
Here the Campbell Conference working it out on left wing for Barber, who leaves it for Barnes. Barnes into the Wales into the rink, and the play goes offside at the Wales Conference blue line. 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second period. Score tied 2-2. Wales Conference goals by Larry Robinson and Steve Payne. Reggie Leach and Kent Nielsen have scored for the Campbell Conference. Stackhouse trying to flip one out. Did to center. Watson knocks it down there over to Barnes. Barnes back to Watson. Watson ahead on right wing for Gretzky. He was checked. Loose puck. Gretzky gets it again. Here's Wayne Gretzky doing some nifty stick handling. Over to Barber. Stackhouse skates him off. Now McDonald into the corner. Puck comes back to the goal, and Schoenfeld, who broke up that 3-on-1 break earlier, clears it down the ice. Watson for the Campbell Conference, back to touch it, and icing is called here against the Wales, and the faceoff will come down in the circle to the left of Gilles Melange.
Bill Barber, one of the premier left wingers in the NHL. Gary, a longtime teammate of yours, quite a hockey player.
Well, what makes him so effective, Dick, is that he plays a regular shift. He's quite a good point man, smart with that puck, carrying the puck, and also an excellent penalty killer. So when you look at those facts, makes him an all-round player. He paid me to say that.
Bill Esposito getting ready for a face-off against Dion. Esposito gets the draw to Greshner. Greshner centers to Leach. Leach was checked by Robinson. And Robinson clears it down into the Campbell end of the rink. Going back to Mike McEwen, and again it's icing against the Wales Conference. Face-off will be to the left of Gilles Melange. Well, Mike McEwen of the Rangers at the start of the year. Now at the Colorado Rockies. First All-Star game for him. From the face-off, here's Greshner, breaks his stick. Robinson was watching the stick rather than the puck. Here's the shot by McEwen wide of the goal. Now centered out in front. Esposito's shot is high off the glass. Prop for the Campbells. Trying to work one free. In comes McEwen to help out. Centers to Prop. A shot, and Meloche, a pad save as he held the post on the short side. And the face-off will be to the right of the Wales conference goal. Let's see who has dropped in to visit Dick Urban this time. Not yet.
Well, Meloche had to be very fast on his feet here to stop this Esposito blast, and actually didn't make contact, just went over the net, but a close call.
We'll get to Dick Urban's visitor momentarily. Leach in the corner for the Campbells, trying to make a play. Reggie Leach shoots one at a stick save by Meloche. Esposito to the corner, back of the net to Prop. Prop trying to center one. And now it is taken away by Hartsburg. Greg Hartsburg out to Kluche. Esposito tying him up. Now Hartsburg has it again around in the boards to Robinson. Leads one out, and here's Lafleur. Shot it near the line. Greshner knocks it down, and Leach takes over. Leaves it for Greshner. Greshner, number 6. Trying to work around Hartsburg. Greshner got it in front, but it's tipped away, and here's Dion. Lead pass for Lafleur. Esposito broke it up. Now Prop shoots it back in for the Campbells, and Hartsburg has to go back for it. Number 4, Craig Hartsburg of the Minnesota North Stars. Flips one in. Hustling back is Lukowicz. Lukowicz leaving it there for Mike McEwen. McEwen trying to work it out of there. Held in by Kluche, and now on the second try it is cleared to center. Robinson flips it ahead for Kluche. Kluche, number 8. Over on the other side, taken in there by Burroughs. Burroughs to the corner. Couldn't center one, and Lukowicz tries to get it up. Reed Larson held it in. His shot stopped, and Lukowicz fires to center ice. Going all the way into the zone. Burroughs back to get it for the Whales. To Howe on right wing. To Perreault. Perreault passed it over onto an open wing. Trottier intercepting. Now Lindgren loses the puck, and here's Perreault to Howe. Howe couldn't control the pass. Howe into the corner. Dropping it for Larson. His shot right on, and Peters makes the glove save and held on. Play underway as the Campbells, McLeish trying to work it out. Gets it to center ice, taken there by Gare. Here's Gare. In across the line, lets a shot go, and a kick save by Peters. Sittler now for the Whales. Into the corner to Rattel. He's tied up by Barnes. Puck taken by Sittler, centered. Peters got a stick on it. Comes to the point. Stackhouse a shot, and Peters a sprawling save. Rebound, and Gare's shot was blocked. And back comes Kent Nielsen. Nielsen trying to feed one into McLeish. Puck goes to the corner. Stackhouse is there. Stackhouse shot it out on the right wing boards for Rattel. Number 7, Jean Rattel. Across the line for Schoenfeld, and the play goes offside at the Campbell blue line.
This is the NHL All Star Game from Detroit.
No one knows Buckley's like the people who use it. So we thought who better to help us answer a few letters.
This is a letter from the Buckley's user. Dear Buckley's, as you already know, if you take Buckley's DM decongestant when you're stuffed up, it works fast. Boy, you can feel it clear you up. My wife calls it the Buckley's Blast. I call it Whoa Buckley's. Do you have a name for the Buckley's effect? Well, I call it I Can Breathe. It works.
Buckley's. It tastes awful, and it works.
Introducing Scent Stories by Febreze, a whole new way to experience scents. Because with Scent Stories you can play scents, like you play music. Every reusable Scent Stories disc plays 5 complimentary scents, with a new scent every half hour, and a whole new experience with every disc. Just push play, and you're there. New Scent Stories by Febreze.
2 minutes, 53 seconds to play in the second period. Campbell Conference All-Stars 2, the Prince of Wales Conference 2. Gretzky against Rattel on the face-off. It comes to Stackhouse for the Wales Conference. He fired it into the Campbell end of the rink, and Peters sets it up there for Mike McEwen. Here's McEwen, who can lug that puck. At center to McDonald, over to Barber. broken up by Stackhouse, and then the play was offside anyway at the Wales blue line.
Well, earlier in this period, we saw Jim Schoenfeld on what was that, Gary? A 3-on-1 break, really, and he broke it up with a super play.
Well, he's one of the premier defensemen, and, some nights he blocks more shots than the goalie.
Here's a loose puck for McEwen for the Campbell Conference over to his defense partner, Greshner, who fired it in. Wallach setting it up back to the goal. Stackhouse is knocked down by Gretzky. Gretzky lost his stick, however, kicked it to Barber. Now a loose puck back to the goal. Stackhouse shot it away. McDonald back to the net to Gretzky, who has the stick back and is able to center one. But Gare is there to intercept. Pass to Sittler. Darryl Sittler fires it in for Gare, and the play goes offside at the Campbell blue line with 2:08 left in the second period.
Well, as Ron Greshner takes over, not as many scoring chances, good ones, Gary, a flurry there a minute ago in the second period as we saw in the first.
The Wales have only had that one flurry there where Peters had to come up with 2 saves, but I think the Clarence has really dominated the second period, although not many good scoring chances.
Here's Big Robinson for the Wales Conference, trying to flip one in front, over onto the other wing to Payne. Back to the goal. Peters is there to get it to McEwen. McEwen is knocked down. Gretzky knocked it back to his own goal for Greshner. Ron Greshner on right wing to McDonald. Shot it to center, and Robinson is there to intercept to Goring. Goring over on the wing. Back to Goring. And it just failed to click as Murphy sent Goring in. And McEwen tried to clear it out. Now held in by Robinson. Now knocked to center, and Payne gives it to Craig Hartsburg. Hartsburg into Steve Payne. Tipped one into the corner. Mike McEwen back together. McEwen on left wing for Barber. Barber being tied up by Mike Murphy. Here's Goring with a chance. Goring in front to Murphy. Again can't handle it. Payne a shot. Stopped at the defense. Puck still loose. Here's Goring in the corner. In front to Murphy. A weak shot and a sprawling save by Peters. And Murphy could have had a hat trick all in the same shift.
Great job of forechecking by Butch Goring. He and Murphy substituting for the injured Charlie Simmer and Dave Taylor from the Los Angeles Kings. Gary, they had a pretty good thing going right there.
Well, they must have heard me. As soon as I mentioned that they didn't put much pressure in that zone, they got to work. And, the one by Goring there, he had the whole open net had he been able to control the puck. But a good shift there for the Prince of Wales.
Here's Dion against Esposito. They get it to Larson. Into the corner to Cloutier for the Wales Conference. Lindgren tied him up. Now Lafleur. Less than a minute to play in the period. Here's Dion for the Wales. Being watched by Esposito. Tried to center. Lindgren is there to knock it down. Gets it out on right wing for Leach. Here's Reggie Leach. Shoots one in. Wallach couldn't get it back to the goal. Wales Conference. Schoenfeld is there. He puts it high to center. And back is Brian Propp to his own line to Picard. Now shot near the Wales blue line, and it's cleared back in by Dave Burrows. Lars Lindgren of the Vancouver Canucks back to touch it, and icing is called against the Prince of Wales Conference.
Gary, another former Flyer teammate of yours, Reggie Leach, and he's back on the beam this year.
Well, we all knew he could score goals, but what he's doing this year is even killing penalties. A lot of penalties with Bobby Clark, and what a combination those two make, along with rookie Brian Propp. But when Leach gets into that position, ready to shoot the puck, there's not too many goalies that are going to stop it.
Leach is the right winger, Propp the left winger, and Esposito is the center. Esposito gets it to Barnes, a shot. Sprawling save by Wallach, as I believe the puck was deflected in front of the net.
I think it hit Propp on the way in from the drive in the right point.
Well, right from the face-off, Brian Propp will get himself in front of the net, and actually he makes a save on this one. Couldn't get out of the way. And Wallach was there to make sure nothing else happens.
Already on a face-off, just 18 seconds left in the period. Leach a quick shot that deflects wide. Now Watson moved in to hold it in the zone. Marcel Dion is there, couldn't get it up. Drop a drive, it's high off the glass. Back to the goal, Leach in there to try and dig it loose. And it's held against the back of the net with just 3 seconds left in the period. And the face-off with 3 seconds left will be in the Wales Conference end of the ring.
You pull the goalie?
Well, it's been known to happen. No sign of that happening, though. Only 3 seconds left. Ready for a face-off between Dion and Esposito. Esposito got the draw to Leach. There's the shot by Watson, and Meloche made the save. But the buzzer goes to end the second period. And so at the end of the second period, the score, the Wales Conference 2, the Campbell Conference 2.
Do you guys do accessories?
You might say that.
Accessories from Apple Auto Glass. Whatever you're driving, we can accessorize it. Featuring Novus windshield repair. Available at Novus and at participating Apple Novus locations.
From August 1st to September 30th, buy an iTech HC100 or HC95 Pro helmet and receive a free Ice Air Performance long sleeve shirt featuring moisture wicking technology. See participating stores for details.
You know the story. When the RCAF said Mach 2 fighter, 2-place 1,000-mile range, the British said it was impossible. The Yanks tried twice and failed. They said, you're dreaming. We said, fine, we'll build it right here in Toronto. And now you guys, my guys, are saying that it can't be done, that they were right?
Now that's the rocket that we use to get the model up to speed, and then the onboard sensor tells the...
Come on, baby.
Damn it! But we did it according to your specs. The specs have changed.
We did it.
Arrow 201. You cleared for takeoff.
We did it!
Although the government cancelled the project and destroyed the prototypes, the Abro Arrow remains for Canada a world benchmark in aerospace achievement.
"19-year-old Wayne Gretzky is competing in his first All Star Game. We asked the Edmonton Oilers player what it all means to him.
Being 19 years old, playing in my first All Star Game, very excited to play against guys like Darryl Sittler and Guy Lafleur, guys that I used to watch play, and especially against Gordie Howe, and I'm very excited to be playing.
From Edmonton, Wayne Gretzky. 2-2 is the score as the third period begins. If they're tied after 60 minutes, we have sudden death overtime. Now here's Sittler stealing one and a shot right on, and a save by Peters as Sittler walked in on left wing. Bossy giving it to Watson out on the left wing side. Now they drop it back to Jim Watson. Shoots one in, but Hartsburg is there for the Wales. Ahead for Bob Deeney. Cleared back up by Lukowicz. Loose puck at center for Trottier. Feeds one into the corner for Barnes. Bob Deeney back to get it for the Wales Conference to Lafleur to Sittler, but intercepted by Lukowicz, and as he carried in, the play is offside at the Wales Conference blue line. Larry Robinson of the Montreal Canadiens. He's played a fine game here tonight, Gary.
Well, the big tree, he has that reach, very difficult to go around, and when he gets a hold of that puck, does he ever get into the offensive flow? And you notice one of the goals that he got tonight because of that.
Here's Howe on the ice now for the Wales Conference, dropping it back as they try and work it into Cloutier on left wing. Peters out of the net to tip it away. Kent Nielsen back of the net, lost it. Now Greshner recovers. Here's Greshner on the right wing side for Nielsen. Tied up on the play. Nielsen trying to get loose. Ian Greshner. Now they got it to the line, held in by Burrows. His shot is stopped, and it is Mike McEwen. McEwen, number 4 for the Campbell Conference, flips one to center. And it's taken over there by the defenseman Burrows. Tries to set up Bertel, intercepted by McEwen. 2-2 the score. Here's McEwen for the Campbell Conference. Dumping one in. Reed Larson back to get it, but it's cleared away by Meloche. Loose puck taken there and cleared by Burrows. Held in. Here's Nielsen to McLeish. Tried to get it to Federico. Federico in the corner, back of the net for McLeish. He skated off, and Howe has it. Out on right wing, and Rattel pokes it out to center ice. Greshner has to go back for the Campbell Conference. Here's Ron Gressner to Kent Nielsen. He's tied up on the play by Gare. McLeish comes back and drops it back for McEwen. Trying to clear it out, held in by Schoenfeld, loose in front of the net, and Rick McLeish comes up with it. Headmanning it to Kent Nielsen. Broken up there, and back comes Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld leaves it for Steve Payne. Payne a shot, and that hit Gare and went wide. Schoenfeld behind the goal. Centered, but Barber is there for the Campbells. Out on right wing, they worked it to Blair McDonald. He shot it to center. Back comes Schoenfeld, and Gretzky skates him off. Wayne Gretzky shot it over onto the other wing. Gare is there. Picard tied him up. Now Perreault dropping it back to Stackhouse. Shoots one. Glove save by Peters. And he held on to it. Good glove save by the goaltender, Pete Peters. Dick Irvin in the broadcast booth with another visitor.
And Dan, joining us is Tom Watt, co-coach of the Canadian Olympic team. Tom, you beat Czechoslovakia last Saturday in Calgary. You played them in a big game in Montreal Friday. Is your club pretty set?
Yes, the win over Czechoslovakia in Calgary gave us a lot of confidence. We've been playing well lately, and it's coming at the right time. Dick just going into the Olympic Games.
And again, I say to you what I said to your counterpart from the U.S., the boys must get quite a thrill being here this week.
Well, we'd like to thank the National Hockey League because it was a great honor being here.
Thank you, Tom. Good luck.
Play underway as Stackhouse for the Wales Conference flips one in. Picard back to get it around on right wing to McDonald, now to Gretzky. Gretzky leaving it for Lindgren. Ahead to Barber. Here's Bill Barber. Shoots right on. Lost the save. Barber poked it in front again. There's Lindgren. A shot that went wide. Center comes to Barber. Barber trying to hold it in, but it's tied up by Stackhouse, who got it to center ice. McDonald to Picard. He's checked. Here's Perreault breaking away on right wing. Gilbert Perreault shot, and he fired wide on the short side. Payne tried to set up Perreault. Here's Picard to Gretzky at center. He gives it to Barber. Barber over on left wing. Check. Got it back to the goal to McDonald. McDonald in front to Esposito, who took a poke at it, and Meloche made a save. And back comes Steve Payne. Lead pass in across the line. The shot and off the glove of Peters as breaking in was Mike Murphy. But still in the Campbell end of the ring. And now cleared by Barnes to center ice. Robinson has it there. Shot it in, but Barnes knocked it down. Norm Barnes to Leach. Leach leaving for Esposito. Shoots one. Meloche to save. Bouncing. They score! Prop, I believe, was the last man to poke at it. And the Campbells wave.
Follow the bouncing puck, and as Dan says, did Prop get to it before he got over the line? We'll see.
Well, Reggie just lets one go, and Meloche does get a piece of it, and Reggie followed up for the rebound and starts going over the line. And again, we can't see from this area, but it all started back in the other end when Pete Peters came up with that big save against Murphy.
Prop, the rookie from the Flyers, their number one draft choice, poking it in, and it's 3-2 for the Campbell Conference. Here's Leach trying to get one into the Wales end of the rink. Back after it is Robinson, being forechecked by Prop. Now Esposito gets it in behind the goal for Prop, dropping it back for Barnes. He poked it into the slot area, and here's Dion. Marcel Dion with a slap shot and a kick save by Peters. It went to the corner. Leach tries to get it out. Held in by Hartsburg. Now Watson over on left wing for Prop to Esposito. Esposito trying to set up Leach. Hartsburg dropping it back into the corner. Over on right wing now. Here's a lead pass as they work it to Goring. Goring checked by Gressner on the play. Goring digs in there after it. He was checked, and Lukowicz has it. Shot up to center. Lafleur knocking it down. Number 10, Guy Lafleur for the Wales Conference. Got to center to Reed Larson. Trottier checked him. Loose puck. Here's Lukowicz centering, but Dion intercepts. Marcel Dion to Geeney. Geeney skated off on left wing by Bossy, and that's Gressner back in the corner. Forechecked by Geeney, but Bossy comes back to help out. Mike Bossy on right wing to number 19, Trottier. He's tied up in the play, and here's Lafleur. Knocked off his stick back to center, and here comes Bossy. Bossy fired it around in the boards. Lukowicz into the corner, behind the net for Trottier. Out in front, a shot by Bossy, and a save by Meloche.
From Detroit, this is the 1980 All Star Game.
We combined a wireless notebook with a complete home entertainment center you can take anywhere. Which leaves only one question. The new Toshiba Cosmeo with Intel Centrino mobile technology.
Bobby Hull was a star attraction from the time he first laced him up, and the attention grew with him. He was all muscle and pure smooth. And when number 9 got rolling, Chicago Stadium shook in anticipation. He'd blow in from the left side, a great golden jet throttle wide open, and unleash the most awe-inspiring shot anyone had ever seen. Bobby became hockey's first millionaire. His contract with the old Winnipeg Jets changed the pay scale for all pro athletes. Hull lived in the spotlight, and it wasn't always pretty. But he was one of the game's greatest players. His son Brett inherited Daddy's scoring magic and carried the Hull torch forward.
It's important for we hero worshippers to have heroes.
Okay, boys, I gotta get some cake. We'll see you later, all right?
Bobby Hull from Point Anne, Ontario. An all-star footprint on the left wing of Canadian sport.
NHL Network Team Days. Tuesdays are for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Special programming featuring the best of the Buds. We look at the players, the coaches, the moments. It's all about your team.
Right on the bugle! Sandini scores!
The Leafs, Tuesdays on the NHL Network.
Here's a face-off in the Wales end of the rink. Burrows clearing it around on the boards for Lafleur. Back of the net, and Reed Larson takes control. Wales have fallen behind here, 3-2. Now Trottier steals the puck. Brian Trottier trying to center one, and it is taken there by Burrows. Wales conference trying to move it out of there. They headman it to Geaney at center ice. Here's Geaney over on the right wing. Tries to center one. Geaney continues on, getting it to Lafleur. Puck comes loose, and it is along the boards for Bossy. He couldn't get it out. Lafleur held it in. And now coming back to help out was Lukowicz. They get it to center ice to Trottier to Bossy. Mike Bossy moving in. Tries to center to Lukowicz, but Lafleur intercepts. Guy Lafleur breaks out on right wing. Here's Lafleur. Cuts over onto the left side. Stops. Falls, and back comes Lukowicz for the Campbell Conference. Leaving it for Bossy. Over to Trottier, a 3-on-2 break, and they go offside at the Wales blue line. And last Campbell Conference goal was scored by Brian Propp, Esposito and Leach assisting at 4:14. Campbell Conference leading 3-2. Here's Paderco for the Campbell Conference, ahead on left wing for Nilsson, who gets it into the Wales end of the rink. And Stackhouse turns in the corner and has control. Stackhouse able to flip it to center. Rattel tried to pick it up. Rattel chipped from behind by Jim Watson. Watson, a lead pass to Paderco. Out of the goal, Meloche to play the puck. Fires it over onto the other wing. Knocked down by Nilsson to Paderco. Now Howe is there for the Wales Conference. Howe coming up with the puck, trying to work it out of there. Gets it over to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld to Rattel. John Rattel trying to get it into the zone. Broken up. And turning back is Paderco. Drops it to Watson. Jim Watson. Flips one in. Going back after it is Schoenfeld. Paderco into forecheck on Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld getting it to Howe. Howe to Rattel. Number 7, Jean Rattel. tried to set up Kluche. The pass is too far ahead, goes all the way down the ice, and icing called against the Wales Conference.
There's a good hockey player, Real Kluche, the Quebec Nordiques. 31 goals this year. Gary, he scored 75 of them last year in the WHA.
It's incredible. I can understand why, though, watching him play a few times this year, the way he gets himself in position. You know, as soon as that puck hits his stick, he's ready to shoot it, and that's the real secret of scoring goals.
11 minutes, 55 seconds to play, at least in regulation time, and it's 3-2 for the Campbell Conference as Robinson fires one on right wing for Gare. McEwen back to get to the puck. Now Payne centers one, but Blair McDonald is there to intercept. Cleared it outside the line. Robinson knocked it down over to Steve Payne, a long shot. Peters handles that, and here's McEwen. Cleared it, but Gare has it in the corner. Gare and Gretzky fight for it, and now Perreault takes over. Gilbert Perreault, stick handle, shoots and fired wide from a sharp angle. Greg Hartsburg centers to Payne, a shot at the save by Peters, and here comes Gretzky back. On right wing to McDonald. Drops to Barber. Barber shoots. Glove save by the goaltender Malage.
To see a well-executed 3-on-2 break here. Barber just slid in the slot on a pass from McDonald, and Malage had to be ready for that one. A good play.
That's Gary Dornhopper. I'm Dan Kelly with Dick Urban and Dave Hodge at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. 11:09 to play in regulation time. 3-2 for the Campbell Conference as Gare comes back for the Wales Conference. Shoots one. Peters the save. Rebound. And Payne fired it wide by a couple of feet. Now Reggie Leach, number 27. Leach working in. He's checked. And Esposito tried to flip it in. Did, but Hartsburg knocks it down. Lindgren gets it to Leach, a backhander wide of the net. Now Prop flipped it in behind the goal. Hartsburg is there. Getting it on left wing to Payne. Lindgren pinned him against the boards and forces a face-off in the Wales Conference end of the ring.
Well, time becomes a factor right here. 10:35 remaining. And as Dan mentioned, tie games in All-Star competition end up with overtime games.
And that's what we had the last time the Wales and the Campbell Conference met. Here is Watson flipping one in behind the net. Marcel Dion got it out on right wing to Murphy. He was too closely checked, and now it's Dion. Spinning away from Trottier. Here's Dion. Still has the puck. Now lost it to Trottier. Flipped it in behind the goal. Lukowicz knocked down. Bossy back of the net to Lukowicz. He missed it, and Murphy has it for the Wales Conference and shot it to center ice. Norm Barnes. Over onto the wing for Bossy. Shot it to center. Back comes Reed Larson with a long shot, and Peters handles that. Here's Barnes behind his goal to Watson. Out on left wing to Lukowicz. Now to Trottier. Back to Lukowicz. In for Trottier. Skated off in the corner by Burroughs, and Dion, number 16, starts out of there. Dion got it to center, but it comes to the blue line, and Barnes has it for the Campbell Conference. Here's Norm Barnes. Scoops a high one in. Malage beats it out on the right wing side for Murphy. Murphy dropping it back. Now Larson over to Burroughs. To Goring. He's checked. Loose puck, and here's Butch Goring, number 15. Across the line and broken up and cleared back into the center ice area by Kent Nilsson. Wales come back in, but McLeish intercepts. Rick McLeish for Gressner. Gressner, number 6, got one to center. Now over onto left wing. Here's Stackhouse poking it back near the Campbell blue line, and it's taken by Mike McEwen to Gressner. Shot to center for Paderco. He's checked. Now Paderco has it again. Lost it, and it comes to Gressner. Here's a pass to McLeish, who jumps it in. Races in after it. Rick McLeish in the corner being tied up. Now along the boards, McLeish able to center to Kent Nilsson. He's tied up. Stackhouse then cleared it over onto the wing. McEwen shoots one. Rebound. The shot. Oh, and McLeish shot it wide of the open net. There's Lafleur to Sittler. Sittler to Stackhouse. Shoots. Scores! Stackhouse. And it's tied 3-3. How many times have you seen one team miss a goal and then the other team can right back and score?
Many, many times. But McLeish doesn't miss many good scoring opportunities like that. But what a play Sittler makes here. And Stackhouse is coming down the wing. He hits him right in stride. Now watch him throw that right upstairs. Peters never had a chance in that one, Dick.
Good play all the way along. Started by the pass from Lafleur to Sittler, which really started with the miss by McLeish. Oh, that's a good shot. Ron Stackhouse, the big defense man, a former Red Wing.
See, McEwen, he went over to the middle there to go at Sittler, and that left Stackhouse in the clear.
Here is Howe for the Wales Conference trying to center one. McDonald intercepting, and they clear it to center ice for Kluche. He dropped it back to Larry Robinson on right wing for Howe to Jean Rattel. Rattel trying to get it in, but Picard breaks that up, and here's Barber leaving it for McDonald. Ahead to Gretzky. Gretzky's long shot is handled by Melange and Larry Robinson. With less than 8 minutes to play now in the third period, gives to Rattel. Jean Rattel trying to go around Picard, leaves it for Howe. Howe over to Kluche. Kluche back to the point, but Barber with a good defensive play breaks it up to McDonald. McDonald moves in, his shot, and a body save by Melange. Hertzberg, number 4, comes out of there for the Wales Conference to Rattel. To Kluche. Kluche moving in. Kluche, Sanders, a shot, they score! Hertzberg, the rookie from Minnesota. And the Wales Conference have the lead at 4-3. And again, Gary Dernhofer, an excellent passing combination as they came up the ice.
Well, the old tic-tac-toe play, and again, it's the defenseman, Greg Hertzberg, who gets in the flow. Look at him getting in the crease or the slot area there. Actually, the puck deflected off the stick there and right in the corner of the net. But Greg Hertzberg on a pass from Kluche right there. It may have just changed direction on Peters. I believe it did.
Peters going to his left seemed to try to react, and that couldn't do it. 4-3, the Wales.
Stackhouse ties it at 11:40. Hertzberg puts the Wales ahead a minute later at 12:40. And it's 4-3 for the Wales Conference. Here's Gare clearing one down into the Campbell end of the rink. The rookie goaltender Peters is there for Leach. Trying to clear one out. Held in by Burrows to Payne. Dropping it back for Larson. Sanders won, and the pass was behind Danny Gare. Barnes trying to clear it. Here's Payne intercepting one. Comes to the point. Larson shoots. Scores! Reed Larson from the right point. Peters looked like he had it, but it trickled in.
Well, suddenly they're starting to put the puck past Peters. And that's a treat for the hometown fans since Reed Larson plays here. Now watch this one come back to the point, and it's just a little snapshot. Again, it looked like it deflected in front there off of Lars Lindgren. We'll see it one more time. See if we can pick that up where it goes off Lars Lindgren's skate. Just trickles by Peters.
From the University of Minnesota, and now with the Detroit Red Wings, Reed Larson, and it's 5-3 for the Wales Conference. How suddenly things have changed around here. Stackhouse trying to clear it up, knocked down. Bossy tried to center one. And Dion works his way out of the Wales Conference end of the rink. Marcel Dion works in, shoots, and Peters makes the glove save. And it was Goring that let the shot go, and Peters made the glove save and held on.
With the score, Wales 5, Campbell 3. This is the 1980 All Star Game.
Words are few, I have spoken.
I could waste 1,000 years.
Wrapped in sorrow, words are token. Come inside and catch my tears. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want to hurt me?
Hey, great game, honey. Listen,
getting that first goal is key. I mean, it's a big 2 points for us, and we'll take it. It's a big win.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's a gut check time, and everybody's contributing, all lines are firing, and, it feels really good. Absolutely.
I'll be in the car.
Okay, thanks.
Phil.
You can't do this, Jacques. It's never been done before.
Mr. Blake.
You can't see down with that thing.
Mr. Blake.
Jacques. What?
They're coming.
Hold them up. Find something. Jacques, I'm telling you for the last time.
Are the Canadians finished? Is Plant coming back on the ice? Come on. Give us something, will you? Please, How many stitches? Gentlemen, please.
Hey, Tony, you got something to say to the people.
On November 1st, 1959, Jacques Plant of the Montreal Canadiens broke with tradition.
You're a brave man, Mr. Plant, standing up to him like that.
And changed the face of hockey forever.
Join the NHL Network as we present Top 10 Moments in Hockey.
Scores! This game is tied! Mario Lemieux makes it 2-0.
Every week, we count down another Top 10 moment, from great goals to stunning saves and much more.
Oh, what a pass!
And boom, it's in! Catch the Top 10 every Wednesday on the NHL Network.
Well, as expected, the Joe Louis Arena tonight holds the largest crowd ever to see a hockey game. It's just been announced 21,002 people. The previous mark, 20,009. So an all-time attendance record here tonight for the All Star Game.
We have 6:27 to play, 5-3 for the Wales Conference. Stackhouse tied it. Hartsburg put them ahead. Now here's another chance, and Peters makes a save from close in on Mike Murphy. Back comes Fossey to Trottier. Trottier's long shot, and Balash handles that, cleared it over onto the right wing side. Here's Dion. Marcel Dion, checked from behind by Trottier. Trottier moving in. Murphy skates him off, and Butch Goring dropped it back for Stackhouse. Stackhouse being checked by Trottier. Now Murphy able to get it into the center ice area. McEwen shot it back in. Knocked down there by Schoenfeld, and he knocked it ahead with his glove to a teammate, causing a stoppage in play.
The score, the time to play, and those three quick goals in a minute and 32 seconds. Well, it's an item record. That's the fastest 3 goals in All-Star competition.
Stackhouse from Sittler and Lafleur at 11:40. Hartsburg from Rattel and Kluche at 12:40, and then Larson from Payne at 13:12. Here the Campbell Conference trying to work one in front. McLeish was checked, and back comes Lafleur. To Gainey. Gainey moving in, and his shot goes off Lindgren's stick and deflects up over the glass. From the face-off, Lindgren, number 2. Trying to feed it out to McLeish. Robinson held it in. Now it's Picard for the Campbell Conference. Gets it to center, fired it off the boards, but Robinson takes over for the Whales. Out to Gainey. And it went up over the boards and then back onto the playing surface, causing the stoppage in play. 5-3, Wales Conference leading. Here's Robinson. Over to Gainey. Drops it to Robinson. Robinson tips one into McLeish. It was too far ahead. Peters cleared it. Here's Lafleur. Tied up by Gretzky, who gives it to Barber, who shoots it to center. Hartsburg back to pick it up. Hartsburg on left wing for Gainey. He's checked, and now Lafleur speeds in. Lafleur from the Montreal Canadiens. Pope checked in the play. Hartsburg held it in behind the net to Sittler. Sittler centers one, and Barnes is there to knock it down. Tried to clear it. Lafleur held it in. Lafleur then checked by Gretzky. Lafleur steals it back from him to Robinson to Hartsburg. There's the rookie Hartsburg over to Robinson. Howe is on the ice. That's the roar from the crowd. Here's Sittler. Checked by Barnes. Barnes lost it back to Sittler. Centers. Here's Howe. Shoots. Oh, and Peters came out and made a save. Howe centered one, and Barber breaks it up. And Howe steals it again for the Wales Conference to Kluche. Here's Rael Kluche dropping it back, and Barber is there to intercept. Barber into the corner. Howe takes it away from Watson. Centers to Kluche. Scores! Kluche set up by Gordie Howe.
You know, that's what they've been waiting for. And oh boy, look at they're just going crazy here. Gordie, we must say he's had his chances tonight.
Well, they're happy, I guess, if he can't get the goal, and he gets the assist. Great setup by Howe.
Well, let's see it again. Howe goes in there, forecheck, and he'll come up with that puck. and what he does so well. Has a look. And watch him just thread the needle right to Cloutier. Little wrist shot, and there, that says it all. Here we come again. Good pass and quick shot. And that Gordy just keeps adding to his record. An all-star competition.
Here the Wales Conference again. This time Kropp breaks it up and flips one into the Campbell Conference end of the ring. Sean Bell back to get it, being forechecked by Leach. Leach forces the face-off, and there's the roar from the crowd on the announcement of the Howe assist.
Live from Detroit, the 1980 All Star Game.
My temperature is right. The oven is preheated. Our time is now.
A Clarica advisor can make sense of almost anything.
It's baby-making time.
Even family planning.
Thank you.
Clarica, health insurance, life insurance, and investments.
Here we go! Move it here, move it there. Let's get it out. Move it here, move it there. Let's go. Move it here, move it there. What? Come on, let's go. Here we go, here we go.
The all-new 2005 Hyundai Tucson with one of Canada's best warranties. Perfect for whatever, whenever.
Hey, Mr. Ricky.
Boys, I want you to meet someone. Outstanding athlete, the former second lieutenant in the United States Army, and your new second baseman, Jackie Robinson.
Hi, gentlemen.
Et maintenant va tomber Royaux. And now batting for the Royals, le deuxième but, the second baseman, Jackie Robinson. Quatrième manche, fourth inning.
Record numbers of cheering Montrealers helped Jackie Robinson break baseball's color bar that year. He never forgot the city that launched his journey to baseball's Hall of Fame.
The last scoring play to make it 6-3. Cloutier from Gordie Howe at 16:06. And it is 6-3, 3:34 to play. The sign tells the story, doesn't it? Face-off coming up to the right of the Wales Conference goal. Here's McEwen, a shot, and Meloche turns that to the side. Gilbert Perreault, number 11, trying to beat it out. It comes to center, and Greshner takes over there. To Mike McEwen. Back to Ron Greshner, the Ranger defenseman. Greshner moving it in. Check. Gare trying to clear it. Here's Greshner, shoots one. Blocked in front of the net and then cleared away by the Wales Conference. Perreault tried to get it out. Perreault again, this time does shoot it to center. Here's McEwen to Reggie Leach. He dumps it in. That's Steve Payne back for the Wales Conference. Over on right wing for Gare. And Danny Gare comes out of his own zone. Here's Gare. Cuts behind the net, being watched by Esposito. Gare to the point. Schoenfeld shoots, deflected, but Peters got his pad on it. Now McEwen cleared it over to the rookie Brian Kropp for Esposito. Esposito trying to move in. Did, but was checked by Payne, and back comes Perreault for the Wales Conference. Gilbert Perreault is checked. And here's Lukowicz for the Campbell Conference on right wing. Number 12 trying to center wide. And broken up and cleared into the center ice area by Hartsburg. Goring races after it. Here's Butch Goring checked on the play, and Lindgren then cleared it. Now stolen by Goring. Shoots. Peters just got a piece of it as he kicked out his right pad. Mike Bossy for the Campbell Conference. Less than 2 minutes to play. Back for Bossy. Bossy centered and unable to get a stick on it was Lukowicz. Dion dropped it back to the goal for Hartsburg. On right wing to Mike Murphy. Murphy and Lukowicz fight for it. Puck comes loose. Picard fired it around in the boards. Now into the corner is Goring trying to clear one. Bossy was checked by Dion. And Lindgren is back to pick it up. A minute 28 to play. 6-3 for the Wales Conference. Here's Butch Goring. Steals the puck but broke his stick, so immediately dropped it. And Bossy takes over. Mike Bossy tries to center one. Did. Robinson intercepted. For Gainey. Gainey on left wing. Shoots and he fired wide on the short side. Barnes has it for the Campbell Conference. Barnes trying to clear it. LaFleur checked in. Now the puck went to Sittler. He centered it, but Barnes takes over for the Campbell Conference. Less than a minute to play. Shot to center ice. Hartsburg fired it back in. Here's Robert Picard. Pumped by LaFleur. Now Trottier coming up with it. He circles back. 40 seconds to play. 6-3 for the Wales Conference. Over on right wing, they work it into Kent Nielsen. Nielsen back to the goal. Burroughs rides him out of the play. Here's McLeish centers. Paderco shoots. And a save made by Malash. Back comes LaFleur to Gainey. Gainey speeding in. His shot and Peters the save. 20 seconds to play. Loose puck taken by Sittler. Sittler gets turned around. Centered one. McLeish cleared it to the corner. There's LaFleur. His centering pass. Now a shot for the point by Larson high off the glass. 3 seconds to play. Barnes behind the net. Puck is in front to Sittler. The game is over. And the Wales Conference on a late flurry defeat the Clarence Campbell Conference 6-3.
Wayne Gretzky would end up playing in 18 All-Star games, 5 less than Gordie Howe, but the great one would retire as the all-time leader in All-Star game points with 25, 6 more than Gordie Howe. Thanks for watching this edition of the NHL Network's presentation of the 20 greatest games. We'll see you again next time.
NHL Network Team Days. Tuesdays are for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Special programming featuring the best of the Buds. The Leafs, Tuesdays on the NHL Network. This is the NHL Network. Ice Level, your best view of today's NHL stars. This week on Ice Level, versatile Hab Joey Juneau. Originally drafted 81st overall by Boston in 1988, Joey completed his university degree and was the leading scorer in the Olympics before bursting on the scene with a 100-point season for the Bruins. Not a bad resume to have before your 25th birthday. Joey continued his offensive ways with the Capitals, but began evolving his game in Buffalo, Ottawa, and Phoenix, as he became one of the best two-way players in the league. Joey was traded to Montreal in 2001, and the native of Pont Rouge has had his career come full circle as he returned home to Quebec.
Kilger got the shooter in Montreal again.
I think I was around like 4 years old, playing with kids a little bit older, and didn't have much of a clue of what I was doing. I thought like a shot on net was a goal, so like I remember my first shot on net, I came back to the bench and was telling my coach that I had just scored a goal, and so anyway, that's kind of my first memory, I guess. I grew up very close to Quebec City, so I was watching the Nordiques a lot, and Peter Stastny was by far my idol. I always loved to watch Leffler and obviously Gretzky and all these guys, but Peter Stastny did some very, very special things in Quebec in those days. I was approached by a few different schools and decided to go to RPI because of the good combo between school and hockey. I thought the hockey program was excellent.